Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the London Black Knights and the Detroit Lions. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Matt Judon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, someone came to play today.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We heard about it all week, didn't we? Especially when we visited practice. He thought he had a good matchup in front of him, and he's taking full advantage right now.
A miserable start here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. Hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. On the return, it's White. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Lions are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Now their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run right here with Swift, powering forward. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. The Lions at 8-1 on the year, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end, and he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Rodgers now to throw. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, therefore, they're giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. So they bring out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
On second down, Swift. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
But they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Out of the gun now on third down. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give them 22 there on the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Matt Judon there to bring him down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On the option to give to Swift here. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now back to throw. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
2nd and 4. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now 14-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And got his man complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. It's a big play there. 61 yards. Now a first down carry by Jones. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
From the 17, Rodgers. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. On the sneak, Rodgers. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Aaron Jones with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Black Knights have cut it back within a score. Extra point by Mevis is up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7.
Black Knights 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Barnes. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Now Rodgers. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. But fortunately, another offensive player quick to react, and they will indeed retain possession. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to
touchdown! Aaron Jones as the first half is winding down. And the Black Knights have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Extra point by Mevis is up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
19 yards. Lions first down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They'll throw now on the final play. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. And ready to get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
Here's Jones again on second down.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Second down, another shot for Jones.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
Here's Rodgers.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And he's got it inside the 10.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
The quick slant caught. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Snell. Touchdown. So, partner, was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Mevis on to attempt the point after.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14.
Makes the score Black Knights 21, Lions 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good relax.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Barnes. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The disaster there, I mean, you saw it coming. The pressure gets knocked down, the interception.
Sometimes the best throw you make is the one you
don't make.
Exactly. Take care of the football. He'll also learn how to shrug his shoulders, take the proper slide steps to alleviate some of the pressure. But occasionally, like the one we just saw, sometimes just hold on to the football and take the hit.
You got 58.
They'll try the right side with Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On play action. Now Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll throw this one away. But I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally. But he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
And they'll send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift, a 21-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this ball game here, the final moments of the 3rd quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied at 21. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And this offense on third down today, they've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. To throw is Rodgers. He's got his man. It's White. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
That's thrown quickly out wide to Lazard. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he is going to lose yardage here. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
A potential field goal, if you're thinking about that, almost 55 yards from here as they try to get closer on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Able to find Lazard. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired. Touchdown! A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Black Knights answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter-punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter-punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got a man, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Back to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. Then he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every...
And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes...
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
They'll look to throw. Well, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1, you want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range.
And he'll conserve whatever time he can as they'll opt to bring it out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they'll indeed take a knee. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here. A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on 3rd down. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
And how about this finish? Able to take a knee, run out the clock, and close this game out by 1 point. You talk about how many coaches we talked to? They all said the same. All I want to do is win by 1 point. That got tested in this one.
Yep, and that cliche rings true. A single penny separates this one. What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept